So I keep saying that Rode is far and away the most advanced company when it comes to audio gear these days. And everyone else is basically in catch-up mode. And well, that gap, it just got a little bit bigger. So let's break down some of these announcements and see what it means for you, the possible purchaser, and for me, the reviewer. I'll be going through the gear in the same order as the announcement video from Rode, and I will cover off everything as it pertains to this channel as well. And of course, all of this info I have is pre-review, and this video is not a review or an endorsement of any of the gear here, but more of an excited child consumer's take. I will reserve all my thoughts on this until after any potential review that might come out of it. So let's get started with the Røde Wireless ME. This is, on the surface, a bit of a branch off from the Wireless Go 2 and what looks like a more attainable product for someone just getting into audio. They even point out in the video that it is a plug-and-play model with minimal setup required. Now, this is for the on-the-go creator and will interface with an iPhone for great audio as well as full capability with cameras and all other gear Wireless Go 2 works with. If the Wireless Go 2 is any indication, this should be a big hit for content creators that are going full phone. It is the little things like the gain assist that will be available, and it should hit home for vloggers as you can also have a mic behind the camera as well as in front. Along with this announcement also comes a free iOS app called RØDECaster, basically allowing for a mini studio on the phone. Lots of cool stuff on this release, and honestly, it looks like it just makes creating content easier to jump in on. As for whether or not I'll cover it in a video, I'll let you guys be the answer there. I know the Wireless Go 2 video didn't do overwhelmingly well, so let me know if this is something you want to see, and I'll see what I can do. Next up, there is a firmware update coming for the Wireless Go 2 fans, starting with the ability to save WAV files on the device, something that's a long time coming. Also, you'll be able to start and stop recordings just by hitting the button on the device. Now, I see this as a huge advantage, but also I hope you can lock the button easily so it doesn't accidentally happen. Also, more cameras are going to be added to the list, but the biggest announcement here is the charging case for the modules. One of the most annoying things about the Wireless Go 2 system is charging them all, especially before a big shoot. This new charging case will offer the chance to charge all three devices at once, as well as offering a decent protective case for them as well. Now, you'll be getting 3 full charges from that case alone. I think this is the sleeper announcement from yesterday's video. I really want to get hands-on with this, and yes, I will literally do a full review on a charging case if I get it, and I will be getting it whether I purchase it or they send it to me. And before we get into the new gear, there are some important updates to the RØDECaster Pro II that bear repeating. And this is cool because it is an actual hardware feature that is getting unlocked in the RØDECaster Pro II. And that is the ability to use Rode's wireless mics with the RØDECaster Pro II. This is just another reason this board is a class leader. And lastly, the RØDECaster Pro II backpack, which I think is a kind of cool merch idea. Now, I'm going to save any and all opinions on this as I do want to get hands-on. It is exciting for sure, but I don't know how niche it's going to be or if it's something that has expanded use cases or if it's only usable for a few power users. So yes, we will circle back to this one way or another. I will be getting this thing whether they send it or I buy it as well. So stay tuned for that. Now to get to the stuff that I know a lot of people are really in on. A couple issues that the RØDECaster Pro II has had since launch is one, that it's expensive. Can't deny that. Not everyone has the cash to drop on it. And two, it might be massive overkill for a lot of people. I mean, it does do a lot, but if you don't need all that, it is even more of an outrageous price, which is why it's awesome to see the RØDECaster Duo on this list. It's a literal pared down version of the RØDECaster Pro II. Everything is the same with the exception of the inputs and the headphone outs, and the only difference there is that there's less of them. This is just a move for market coverage. Some people have not moved up from the first RØDECaster Pro or have gone with a competitor due to price, or just an unwillingness to upgrade to something that is way more than they need. This looks like it's going to do just that. As for whether or not it will be reviewed on this channel, I do kind of want to do a review to see if there's any comparison. Also just to see how well it operates as a pared down version or if there's any specific limitations beyond the channels. And while that is a big deal, I think the biggest announcement is up next. I have a ton of questions and curiosities here. This thing has a ton of potential to be a massive replacement for the Go XLR. The included 4K video options with this thing just completely sells it. And when you consider all the other things RØDEX integrated over the past year, this thing might just blow everyone else out of the water. Up until now, Rode has been trying to shoehorn the RCP2 as a streamer's dream, and frankly, well, they're not wrong. I mean, a lot of functionality is packed into that board, but this is literally something that needs no shoehorning. This thing is directly aimed at streamers. Again, reserving my opinion until after the review, but my God, the possibilities here are exciting. The included AFX processing, Unify being integrated into the workflow as well. There's so much here that I want to unpack, and yeah, this thing will be reviewed on this channel come hell or high water. I promise you that. And finally, I do have to say, Rode moving forward at being the best at USB microphones. Again, I think this is gonna be the wave of the future, having old standards for mics becoming XLR and USB compatible. I'm kind of shocked that more companies haven't jumped on this train, with Shure coming the closest with the MB7, but not fully integrating USB functionality with fan favorite mics, which Rode is doing so well, which means they're far and away the forefront of innovation here. And that is gonna be tough to catch up with for everyone else. And with that in mind, the new PodMic is just that. Much like the NT1, this is just a reimagined fan favorite with USB functionality. Also, fun fact, these USB mics will be able to be plugged in as inputs through USB on both the RØDECaster Pro II as well as the new Duo, something a lot of people have been requesting. And again, yes, I will be covering the new PodMic. Stay tuned for that as well. Now, in case you haven't been paying attention, Rode is literally turning into the Apple of audio gear. If you're doing anything in the audio sphere, they're at the top of the list for recommendations already. These new releases are just more of what everyone else loves. And it does show that Rode is growing their business based on what people want, which again, is kind of how Apple took over the world as well. Kind of this mix of technological research as well as research on their users. We'll see how this all shakes out with the reviews. Again, I will hold all personal thoughts until I can get hands-on with this stuff. But there's some cool reason for excitement here. If you want to see some other Rode gear that I've reviewed, check it out up here.